Welcome to Rooster Radio, a broadcast dedicated to supporting and promoting local artists in the Gaston County and surrounding areas.
This episode of Rooster Radio is brought to you by Gas House Cannabis Dispensary. As you can see here, we've started selling THCA products, which are legal in the state of North Carolina. We've got packs of pre-rolls, indica and sativa. We've got lollipops that are 80 milligrams. We've got brownies that are 20 milligrams. And the reason I decided to bring this product in is because these are locally sourced, locally grown, no chemicals, no added stuff sprayed on it. This is all the real deal. And next time you're here at a show and you're in the mood for some cannabis product, we have it available. We also have THC seltzers as well. But these are all brought to you by Gas House Cannabis Dispensary here in Gastonia, North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, September is a jam-packed month. We have a lot of exciting shows coming up starting this weekend. On Saturday the 6th, we're hosting our Underground Mixer Volume 2 with Shell Shock Promotions. That is an underground hip-hop show headlined by FaZe God. We got B Villainous, we got King Rash, J2 Pharaoh, and a whole bunch of others. Come hang out. It's a $10 show. You can't beat it. And then moving forward on Tuesday the 9th, we've got Brendan Starr, who's a touring musician. He's going to be playing with Caught Off Guard and Lacey Dooms. Looking ahead to following weekend on Friday the 12th, we've got Make Yourself, an Incubus tribute, and Frizzle Fries, a Primus tribute, playing together here at the Rooster. And then the very next night, if you like the heavy stuff, come out for Autumn Lies Buried. That's the shirt I'm wearing right now. We've got the Coursing. We've got Two Stroke Smoke, Pathologic, and a whole lot of others. We're going to have hip-hop going on in between the band sets. It's going to be a really, really fun night. That's Saturday the 13th. And then further down the road on Saturday the 20th, Cutthroat Concerts presents Plush. A lot of buzz around this show. In fact, we already are on a low ticket warning for that show. We've sold a bunch of tickets already. We're going to have Dove Cage, everybody's favorite pop punk here in North Carolina. Parallel Lives and Six Story Pyramid also for support on that show. And then the very next weekend, September 26 and 27, is Brewstock Music Fest. You probably already know the details. Hopefully you've already got your tickets. It's going to be a big one with Butcher Babies headlining the Saturday, and then the pre-parties headlined by Redefined. And then looking further down the road in October, on Thursday the 9th, we've got Mike V and the Rats with the Good Grief and Queen City Rejects. Be a fun punk show. Some of you may remember Mike V was, he sang for Black Flag for a while. In fact, they were here last year. He was here with Black Flag. Now he's touring with his band, Mike V and the Rats. That Saturday, the 11th, we've got Not Your Kind, a Slipknot tribute with Midas 22. That's going to be a wild show. And then the 24th of October is Elvis Meets the Beatles. We have an Elvis tribute and Beatles tribute playing together in a house. And then the very next day, the 25th, is the 7th annual Carolina Headbangers Ball. This year's lineup is the sickest lineup yet. You absolutely cannot miss. If you're a fan of heavy metal music, you need to be here on Saturday the 25th. And then on the 1st of November, we've got House of Hair making their first appearance in over a year, doing all of your favorite 80s hair metal hits. That's what's coming up. We got a whole lot more on the schedule. You can go to theroostergastonia.com. Click the events tab and see everything, get more information, buy tickets, and see what all we got going on. Peace and love. I guess we'll start by introducing our guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking to the one and only Abigail. Look there and say hello.
Hello.
Most of you recognize Abigail from the Rooster Report every week, and she also bartends here every other weekend. And let's start with how we first met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were like, the roles were reversed, where I was interviewing you.
That's right. That's right. My first time on Gaston Spotlight, which is, the Gaston College has a communications program, for those who don't know. Most people know that that's how we found Ron. I started here as an intern, and I've got the droopy mic, so
oh, yeah, it's
fun.
not me.
But I went to do an episode of the Gaston Spotlight, and Abigail was the interviewer. And you were fantastic. So much so, it impressed me to the point where it's like, afterwards, I was like, I have this idea. I'd like you to be a part of it. And fast forward 2 years later, Abigail finishes the program, we reconnect, and that's kind of how the Rooster Report started. I always wanted to do the Rooster Report, but I knew that I was not the face for that. And thank you for taking that on, by the way.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been a lot of fun. It's like a little project I get to work on every week and like develop, my social media acumen from there. I mean, I'm really excited to keep doing it, see where it goes. I've been able to meet so many dope people, through it. But I also I have to give a lot of credit to Kate Carmody, because she assigns the hosts every week, and so I think she knew that you were the proprietor of a rock and roll venue and was like, okay, well, out of the class roster, she makes the most sense to be the host this week. So, shout out, Kate.
Well, I was just impressed with how well spoken you were and confident. Because I did that again. I did the Gas and Spotlight like a year or two later, and that host was well spoken but not confident. And that's what impressed me the most. So let's talk about where's that come from? Because now that I've gotten to know you a little bit, you don't really strike me as the attention-seeking type.
Definitely not. No.
So talk a little bit about why you chose communications and how a little bit about your journey.
Oh gosh, I mean it's a long story. I'll try to condense it here. That I basically didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I really only throughout my life the consistent thing that has kept me interested and driven and excited about life is music. That's which I know it's music is a huge concept, but rock and roll specifically, DIY. It was so I knew I needed to do something within that. I wanted to work with local music somehow, and the most affordable venue that kind of made sense was to just look at community college and see what I could make from that. And the closest Gaston's a really small school. They don't have a whole lot of options. I couldn't study musicology or anything like that. That you'd have to go to a very specialized university, and I was already in too much student debt, so I'm I'm good. So it just kind of made sense, especially with the trajectory of media in general and music. Everything is shifting to more of a digital sphere. So I was like, okay, well, let's see what I can do with this, the connections I can make. And I don't know. I didn't have I still don't have a definitive plan. I'm just kind of feeling it out. And that was kind of the mindset there. It was okay, I want to work with music somehow. I can't physically play music. I've tried. It plays me, unfortunately. But I don't know. I wanted to see what I could do and who I could meet through that channel.
Yeah, and what's cool about kind of joining the team here is you're a prime example of what we do here. Is somebody who's finding their way in this community, kind of feeling it out, see kind of where you fit in, and most places that's going to give you a job, if you want to call this that, you're kind of married to their formula to do, and I've just completely given you free reign to do whatever you want with the Rooster Report. And even to this day, you're still asking me if certain things are okay, and it's
you've never said no.
Yeah,
I mean, never.
Well, it's so good. You're so, the promotional and media side of music is just as important as the music itself. I think. But the Rooster Report, how quick your quips are and your the jokes and stuff are just. I love it.
Well, I appreciate that. Everyone, people say how is it so it's a lot of editing. That's the answer. It's a lot of editing. It is not I wish I was that clever and off the cuff, but it was just.
I mean, we did get to sort of witness her working on it while we were shooting podcasts for earlier or last year, and you were back there working, and I was she was just going to town, and you could see she was no. And vetting the stuff out, whether she's going to say or not. But
yeah, I went back there to check on her, and there was this intense look in your eyes, and I was I'm leaving her alone.
In the zone.
It is a job, man. I mean, it is not it's very much I definitely put a lot of more work into the writing and the research aspect. I feel it's because if you don't take it seriously, then it's just I mean, I think you'll be able to tell if I
I mean, you are the music community's quippy, quirky, cheeky Dr. Seuss. I mean, with your rhymes and stuff, it's oh my gosh, how did she make that work?
Yeah, you'd think you were an English major. You do have a very good command of the
Right.
English language. I gotta hand that to you. It's every week. I'm impressed. I'm like, hell yeah. Because I couldn't do that. I couldn't, my original idea for Rooster Report was to like have like this is like kind of like an MTV News vibe thing. It didn't even occur to me that like there was this muscle you had that you could flex to make it even more entertaining than I thought it would be. So that's cool. And I've told you this before. It is by far the thing I get the most feedback on is people love that Rooster Report. So that's pretty awesome.
I mean, I'm shocked. Like every week when someone comes up to me, like they'll recognize me from it, or like they'll, they've came here because they've seen the Rooster Report or something. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
It's working.
It's so trippy. It's like crazy, but it's so cool to see. So satisfying. I love it.
And how are you finding like so? We'll be completely open and honest. Abigail's looking for work. I needed my bartender quit, and I was like, well, I need a bartender. Have you ever bartended before? She's like, no. I'm like, all right, I'll train. How do you like bartending? How's it coming along for you?
I love it. I mean, like I joke all the time that I'm a personality hire because like I have no experience, and like even within food service, I have very like limited experience. So, it's funny because for the longest time, like I've worked retail for 10 years, and I thought, okay, I'm just genuinely not a personable, likable person. Like I don't get along. Like I don't. That's draining, interacting with people. I don't like it. But it turns out it's just in the wrong environment, the wrong dynamic. I wasn't given the right tools and the right surroundings. So, no, I mean, I really, really enjoy it. Like, this is the first job I've ever had where I don't, like, dread coming to work. I mean, I actually look forward to it.
Yes.
100%. Because it's usually coming from a corporate retail background, and it's just... they don't care about, you're just a means to a profit.
Right.
And it's
And here
never
you're
been
surrounded
the case here.
by what you love.
Yeah,
when you're here.
absolutely.
And you get to be yourself.
Yeah.
Get to wear
And
whatever I want.
If somebody gets a little too tipsy at the bar and they serve you something, you can be like, no.
Right, absolutely.
And I'm trying to not to use cuss words, but yes. At the same time, yes, you can hand it right back. As in corporate, they'd be like, oh no, you're fired. You can't talk to a customer that way. And yes, absolutely.
There's no number at the bottom of the receipt they can call, and
This is HR right here.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly, definitely.
I'm not gonna lie. That is one of I don't take a lot of joy in like negative things, or I don't take a lot of joy in being an asshole. Shit. However, it is. There's a little tiny piece of me that gets a little bit of satisfaction from like having to like put someone like in their place.
That you can do that, yeah.
It's just knowing that you can, and knowing that like it's not even a powerful thing for me. It's more like it's like a dad reflex. It's like I feel very protective of the people here.
Right. Well, I can go into something and have that kind of situation and be like, oh, you want to talk to my boss? He's a bigger a-hole than I am.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's like I tell security all the time here. I'm like, let me be the a-hole. Like if someone's if being nice isn't working, come get me. Let me handle that, because I don't want anyone here to have to feel like coerced or forced, or like they have to do something that they don't feel comfortable doing.
Yeah.
So, and I'm perfectly content to do it. But that came with age. I wasn't always like that. Now I'm just a lot less patient with people's BS.
But also not working in a non-corporate environment, when somebody does handle you that way, he's got your back.
Definitely.
Because my opinion, I've been handled that way. He was like, who? Absolutely not. But yes, and it's nice. It doesn't happen.
I am a nice person.
He is, absolutely.
Just don't give me a reason.
It's one of those. It's about, if you want that respect, you got to give it. If not, I'm going to dish it right back out.
Yeah, that's probably the second most feedback we get, is like how much people appreciate the vibe in here and like the feeling of family and stuff. And you've been a great addition to this family, and I'm forever grateful. For
She
doing
fits in
that.
so well.
Yeah, you
I'm
do.
so grateful you all gave me the chance. I mean, for real. I mean, I genuinely didn't know what I was going to do, like, once I graduated. And I mean, I was so scared I was going to have to go back to like doing something like I was before. And I was, oh my God, it was horrible. I mean, that's like genuinely my worst nightmare. I mean,
Watching you grow as a bartender too I love watching that happen.
oh.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's talk a little bit about your background. You said you spent about 10 years doing retail. You grew up here in North Carolina?
Mm-hmm. Born and raised,
Yeah.
Not far from here. I was born at Fry in Hickory and grew up in Maiden, so like 30 minutes-ish.
Now, that's kind of out there.
It's in the middle of nowhere, yes. I mean, I tell people, all they ask me, oh, what's in Maiden? I said, I'm the only cool thing there, literally. I mean, there's nothing, it's literally,
Yeah.
So what got you into because you're clearly a punk rock type. I'll tell you what, one of the most interesting things about you is how into boxing you are.
yeah.
How did that happen?
What? That's something I didn't
I didn't know that. Yeah.
I wish I had a good answer for that one. I think that there's just, I mean, it's combat sports in general that I enjoy, but there's just something so primitive, so human about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's,
I do, yeah.
I don't know, because it doesn't stop with just the sanctioned boxing either. I love to, it's horrible. I love to watch like the underground, like no rules fights too. Like they're
Backyard stuff.
brutal. They're brutal, but there's just something like so like satisfying. Like maybe it's the same reason why I like to get in the mosh pit. You know, I don't know. It's just that's something I don't really have an answer for, but I definitely I enjoy it. I mean,
No, I can really. I mean, that's why I'm not huge into sports, but I do love football.
Mm-hmm.
And my hot take on football is it's modern day gladiators,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know, we can't throw people in a stadium and kill each other anymore, but we can make them. You know,
We can give them concussions.
give them concussions. Yeah, and that's kind of the reason why I'm still so into football. That and the team sport aspect of it, which is a little bit different. Because with combat sports, it's literally you're on your own. You got no help.
yeah. I mean, it's interesting though. Like for the pros, who you have like in your corner like makes a huge difference though. You know, if like there's like levels of skill to being a cutman and like there's like the sports science has come such a long way that I don't know. It's that I guess that's another reason why I like boxing in particular is because of it's they call it the sweet science or whatever. It is a science. I mean the like from the leg work into the just like styles of.
Well, that's why they go back
You know.
and watch fights so you can see openings and how your opponent fights and
Yeah.
stuff. And you can learn his style so you can get around it. And, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, sometimes I just go back and watch it in slow mo because like there's just so much going on. You
Yeah.
know, if you want to catch it all. But I mean, that's like again, I don't really have a great answer for that. I didn't grow up watching it at all. I mean, no.
Have you ever participated?
Oh no, I've thought about it. Oh, I don't know, because I got into it like too late. If I was a kid and I started watching it, maybe,
Yeah.
but. Oh God, I gotta protect my. I mean,
Protect your brand.
Yeah, exactly. The moneymaker. I don't know.
Trust me, if you've never had your nose broken before, you don't want it broken.
No, and like that's another
It
thing. Is
hurts so bad.
watching fights and then like the cauliflower ear, and I can't. Oh, I'm good. I'm like,
Perfectly content to be a spectator.
I like to watch
Absolutely.
it. Need to stay pretty.
absolutely, yes. I'll stay over here. You guys just entertain me. Yeah, for sure.
That's a very queenly attitude. Entertain.
Now, what about your musical taste? It's pretty clear you're into like the punk rock stuff. You get more excited about punk shows than any other ones.
Yeah.
Is there a history there? What's your you said earlier that you wanted to be in the music world on some level. Where does that come from? Is there like was there a catalyst moment for you?
Definitely. I was not raised with listening to punk at all. I mean, like my parents, I love them. They're great people, but they're square as heck. You know, they would like listen to whatever's on the radio type thing. And I think punk in particular, rock and roll, is because I was always an outcast. Like I never like fit in with my peers, especially. My peers of like I usually get along with older people and that sort of thing. Like I mean, when I say peers, I mean geographically, like the whole like southern. There's like there are types of people who live here and the culture surrounding that, and it's very it's the antithesis of punk in a lot of ways. It's like the complete opposite. So because I never jived with I was alone for a long time. Like as a kid, I was a very lonely kid. But I was a late bloomer when it came to music, though. I think I wasn't like because I had no one to introduce me to punk rock or like subcultures in general. I had to like that was pretty much thanks to the internet, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember I was like 16 and I was on YouTube, and I think I came across a Ramones video, and it just kind of like blew my mind. It was like, so yeah, something like clicked and fell into place. It was like, oh, okay, like, you know, this is I'm weird, but I'm not alone, you know?
Yeah.
And then from there, like, I just had to learn everything I could. And I mean, now I'm like an encyclopedia of like, especially that like mid to late 70s era of New York punk rock. Like, I don't know.
You submersed yourself. You kind of found a place that you felt comfortable and part of something. I totally get that.
Yeah.
The same thing happened to me at like 13. You know, when it was bands like Pantera and Rage Against the Machine, and you know that it was like this. I want more of this.
Right.
I like this.
Yeah.
Like, and back then it was magazines. It was pre-internet, so it's like I'm buying Rolling Stone and Spin magazine, and I'm hanging out at the record store.
Right.
I'm going. You know, I think I was like. The first time I went to a concert without members of my family or a church group was like 15 years old. I went to like a whole concert. You know, I was heavy into like all that alternative grunge, all that stuff, and you know, for me it all started with my best friend's cousin was a few years older than us, and he was like a guitar whiz. Dude could play. You put a song on before the song's over, he's already got the rhythm down. Like he just knew how to play everything. So we thought he was the coolest person on the planet. So naturally, anytime he'd bring a cassette tape over to listen, we were like, you know, yeah. We knew it was good. So, you know, he's the one that introduced us to the Panteras and the Primuses and all that. And so like, I totally get it. When you finally find a place that you feel like you fit in there, you kind of just do this deep dive and just pour yourself into it.
Like, you can't help it. Like, it just gravitated. Like,
especially like, because we've had that conversation about, because I think that was one of the conversations we kind of like bonded over, is being that person who doesn't quite fit in. And all of a sudden, when you find a group of people that are like, "Oh God, you're weird too,"
right?
Great. Yeah. It's a good click, and you find out where you fit in, and then you from there, it broadens. Because, like, if it wasn't for my best friend in high school, her dad listened to Delta blues, and that was his thing, and that's why I just was like, "Ooh, I really like this." Yeah. But I love other genres as well. Like, my best friend was so into like the local sort of goth metal scene, like completely opposite of her dad, but she knew all the blues information as well. So she was introducing me to that, because my mom was more like, she liked pop, and then she liked stuff like Alice Cooper, and my dad was totally like Southern rock.
Of my dad.
So it was like one of those, oh, okay, so I can just fit all the genres in here.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you can't grow up in the South, at least grow up in the 80s in the South, and not know who Leonard Skinner is.
True.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, and look, I've got a lot of those roots too. You know, my mom was more into pop music, and like, you know, we were church going people back then, so like a lot of like your Christian contemporary stuff. But then my dad always had the classic rock on in his car, and that's, you know, I always loved riding with my dad for that reason.
But being introduced to punk rock, that was actually funny. It was an article in Reader's Digest about the punk rock.
What's
scene.
Reader's Digest?
Really? You know what Reader's Digest is. But my mom subscribed to it, and it was an article about the New York punk scene. And I just saw this guy with this blue mohawk, and I was like, I want that. And
That must have scared your mom.
no, I didn't tell her. It was in my head. But, you know, and I was like this, and I read the article and kept that for the longest time, and just that's how I learned about that, because nobody listened to punk in my household.
Right.
But
it was metal for me. It was metal, and from metal I started to learn more about punk.
See, I grew up folk, like John Denver and, you know, like 60s, 70s folk and stuff from my parents. My first concert was Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
Oh, wow.
And like, so yeah, I grew up with all that. And so I think like being here, like we talk about with the like metal and whatever, I think like the Menders are the hardest thing I've listened to, like been involved with, but like coming here, it's growing on me.
What was your first
metal.
concert?
Oh, so I'll answer that with like a little exposition here. So
Okay.
like I was always my dad was just a good old Southern boy, in a lot of ways. Like his music taste, especially like Skynyrd and like the Allman Brothers band, like his two favorites.
Yeah.
But he went to Appalachian State University, and his family's from East Tennessee, and so like their bluegrass and like that sort of thing was huge. And so my first concert, I was like probably 9 or 10, and he took us to see Doc Watson.
Oh wow!
And I'm so like I'm pissed at myself because I had no appreciation at the time, but looking back on it, that's like the coolest experience, like one of the greatest gifts he ever could have given me. I mean, especially now that because for a long time I thought that I had that like a very like snobby mindset, like that I'm too good for Southern music. You know what I mean? Like it was whack. It was really dumb. But it's really come full circle and like completely gone the other way and embraced it. Like I listen to a lot of country and bluegrass, and like it feels like home now when I listen to it in a lot of ways. So that's my first concert, and I'm like so grateful for that. Like I just as a kid, I thought it was like the most boring thing. But
did your parents drag you to a concert like that?
It was all Christian stuff.
Oh, well, I mean, mine was the Statler Brothers.
I don't count those. I don't count the Christian concerts. They don't.
But that was in the era where Statler Brothers did the comedies. Yeah. So
I actually took my dad to a Leonard Skinner show when I was like 20 years old.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I took my dad to go see Guar.
Funny story about that. That's awesome.
That's awesome. My dad would say he stood there like this all the time. That was interesting.
Well, this was back when PNC was Blockbuster Pavilion.
Yeah.
And this was kind of this was late '90s, so it's like pot still isn't accepted like it is now. But at the time, I smoked a lot of weed, and we were waiting for Leonard Skinner to start, and the lights all shut out before the headliner comes on, and right as the lights shut out, I'm lighting a joint. And I couldn't have timed it any worse because one of the security guys was standing at the bottom of the lawn, was looking directly at us and saw this lighter spark up and made a beeline to me and grabbed the joint out of my mouth and tore it up in front of me. And I was like, you son of a bitch. But now they don't care. Like it's so different now. But no, that was a fun time. We had a really good time. My dad and I have been to a couple of shows together. I was really fortunate. I got to see Tom Petty before he died, and that was a bucket list for me. I was a huge Pink Floyd, Tom Petty. That's kind of the more lane. I was never a big I do love Led Zeppelin, but I was never like big into them. Like a lot of rock and roll guys, like that's like their number one.
Oh yeah.
I'm more like Pink Floyd is better.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you have a bucket list artist?
I don't know. I don't know if they're that would be alive anymore. I'm trying to think because
you're trying to get to them before they die. Is really hard.
Because I mean, most of my like all-time favorites are like 70s, like 60s artists, and like the big three for me were David Bowie, Lou Reed, and Iggy Pop. And I've seen Iggy Pop. I got to see Iggy Pop, which is the best show I've ever seen in my life. By the way, he was in his 70s, and he was giving energy that like a lot of kids can't. I mean, it was just so cool. But Lou and Bowie are dead, so that would have been my answer. But maybe John Cale from the Velvet Underground, because they are my all-time favorite band. Like people are always like, oh, you must like fruit, you must like bananas. Like that's like the album cover for the first Velvet Underground band, and it's also my Instagram handle. Like people are always asking me like, what's the Instagram? Like who's Doug? And I'm like, that wasn't a member of the Velvet Underground also. So it wasn't taken, and I was like, oh, I'm taking that. So like that same reason why like Lou Reed is my handle on Venmo, just because I was like, whenever I made that, I was a kid, and I was like just obsessed, and was not gonna. If it wasn't taken, it was mine now. So. Yeah.
So you said earlier, like you're somewhat of an outcast, which I think all of us have kind of have that in common. How old were you when you kind of like found your place, got comfortable in your skin, and like found like your people? Because judging by what you said, like the confidence that you have comes from something. It's very gradual. I will say that. Like I was not a confident kid at all. And I think that for a while, like whenever I kind of found my niche within like the music community, and like when I started getting into like different kinds of like film and like the other kinds of art and medium, like I knew I was interesting. I knew I was smart, but like it just
I don't know. I had a hard time like believing I had value or something. But very gradually, and I think that like I don't want to get like super morose or depressing, but like whenever my dad died, it kind of forced me to really like reflect and either change my mindset or be just a miserable person. You know what I mean? And so like I think that had a lot to do with it, and like for my family's sake too. Like I couldn't just be the kind of, because I had like I went through a very self-destructive period,
Before or after that happens?
Before for sure. Yeah. In my early 20s, I would say, like, and
So you got stories?
Oh my God! I got stories. I don't know if I can tell them on here because my mom is definitely listening to this.
Oh, your mom's definitely gonna watch this. Hi, Mom.
No, she's gonna watch it like several times too.
Oh,
She's such a real one. Like she'll put the Rooster Report on YouTube in the back and like just put it on mute while she does other things. So like loops, I mean,
That's where all the plays are coming
yeah,
from.
that's where all the plays are
Thank
coming
you
from.
so
Yes.
much.
No,
I mean, who doesn't do that? I mean, yes, that's what
she's
you
so
do.
supportive. Yeah, I mean, she's like, you talk too fast. I don't know what you're saying. I'm like, I have to like, but she's still gonna support me.
When are we going to get her down here for a show?
Oh my God!
She came to a Misfit market with her.
Yeah, she did. I mean, it's just a matter of when we're gonna have an early show because she's old. Like I don't.
No, she works.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. She does work every now and then. I don't know because she doesn't listen to like a whole lot of like metal or punk. It just have to be.
It's got to be a show that she'd be interested in.
Yeah, it'd have to be a mom-friendly
make it worthwhile.
show.
We got the Elvis and Beatles tribute show coming up.
There you go.
Tell her about that.
That could be fun.
That'd be fun. Late
Yeah.
October.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we'll get her out. We'll get her out here for
Right
sure.
on.
We'll make sure of it.
So living out in the middle of nowhere,
Mm-hmm.
and you said you've already kind of worked your way through your destructive phase. What are you doing for fun these days?
For fun these days, okay, I have a very curious, active mind. Like I love learning. Like I will just spend hours on the internet, like watching documentaries, or I don't know if you've ever heard like I mean, it's so nerdy. Like it's actually so nerdy. Like the Internet Archive. Have you ever heard of that? They just have like.
Is that a YouTube channel?
No, it's a
Ron knows.
yeah, Ron knows.
I saw his hand do this.
There's anything and everything you can think of that's ever been on the internet is archived on there for free. You can access it for free.
Oh, cool.
And like just the randomest. Have we passed like the cussing phase? Can I cuss? That?
Yeah.
Okay. The randomest, coolest shit you can think of. Like I mean, from like pulp magazines from the 1920s to yeah. I mean like. Like obscure rock and roll magazines and zines. I mean, just the coolest
All
shit.
those cool little zines they used to make.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you go to this site and just kind of troll for information.
It's just been hours, just absorbing and learning and just. I mean, that's one thing. I mean, I like to read. I like to watch movies. I can't ever just I don't know. Sit still. I listen to a lot of music. I consume. I guess when people ask me this question, I consume a lot of media. I like whether that be movies or music or, just art in general. That's where I find peace and a sense of or I find a better sense of myself for sure.
Okay, cool. And then now that you're able to work here, you're kind of finding more of a sense of community. It's. Yeah, I fully believe in living a full life. A lot of people kind of get stuck in a lane, where this is actually an issue that I'm trying to help fix by having this place here. Is people kind of get stuck in this this philosophy or this mindset or this thing that I'm into defines me as a person, right? Like for some people, all they do is play video games in their free time, and that's it. And that's not really healthy. And there's some people they're very political, and that's their whole identity is their political belief. And one of the reasons we exist is to kind of give people an outlet to kind of break out of the thing, because I feel like when you get tunnel vision like that, you miss out on so much that is great about living a full life. And even in my own person, I've got my family life, my work life, and then I've got my hobbies. And I think it's really important to you have to kind of pour yourself into these other aspects of life and branch out. And that's kind of why I asked the question. You've now that you've gotten your education, now you're kind of finding your place, community. What else is out there for you? And you kind of started this whole interview talking about like not being sure where you were going to go. What other things do you want to do with the education and the experience that you have?
Well, I know I want to continue to work with music, and I genuinely, like, I used to be a very nihilistic, like, pessimistic, that person, and since I've, like, really shifted my mindset, and but I don't know, I truly believe in, like, the power of manifestation and, like, making the life you want for yourself. And I know that I'll be working with music. I know that that's what's going to happen. But if you had asked me, like, 5 years ago, if I would be here, like, doing what I do, I would, tell you to fuck off. Like, definitely not, So I don't know if I have, like, again, like, I know the right opportunities are coming to me. They're on the way, but I don't know what that looks like exactly.
I was gonna say,
but I'm
are you just
excited
open
about
to
it.
like all possibilities, or like,
Yeah.
are you like kind of trying to focus on something like journalism or something like that, or?
I mean, that would be, I think that I could contribute in that way for sure. And I think that, like, I do have something to say in that regard, but I don't want to limit myself to that either. I don't know. I know we kind of touched on this, but like several more people than I would ever like believe is true, but except if I've read it, have come messaged me or like said that in person that they would be interested in me doing some kind of like interview with like bands and stuff. So I mean that's something I'm thinking about.
Well, that's kind of why I asked the question, because I've kind of been waiting for the right time to say this on the interview, but I want people to know, other venue owners, artists that are out there, Abigail is available for work. If you're looking for someone to be in a music video, if there's other venues that have content.
She's not just ours. We lend her out from time to time.
Yeah. Basically, that's what I'm saying. It's like, she's a part of this family here, but she's also part of this community. And and I don't want anyone to feel any kind of way about reaching out to you or us to get a hold of you for opportunities.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Ron started as an intern. He produces the podcast, and anytime something comes up about editing or videography or anything, I'm like, call Ron. Send it his way. And the same thing goes for you, Abigail. I want to see you grow.
Right. No, I know you do. I know I can feel it.
And
It's
that's
so
refreshing too, because you're not. It's not. We're not used to that. Okay.
Well, I don't panic when like bad things happen. I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm not the panicky type person. If something happens that doesn't go my way, it's
You
like,
give
all
yourself
right.
that moment to go fuck.
Yeah.
And then you
I'll
figure,
take a minute to be
Right.
like, well, that fucking sucks. But
Yeah.
it's like, you can stay there or you can keep moving forward.
Exactly.
And when somebody is able to move on to do bigger things than what we're doing, because like I know how small we are. Like I want bands to get too successful to play this stage. I want you to find that place you're trying to go. And if it means you have to move on from this place, then that means we've achieved the goal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm not very possessive like that either. I know other owners of bars and venues that are, and I don't understand it. But that's fear. That's fear talking.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think, and it kind of goes back to what we were talking earlier about kind of like getting comfortable in your shoes and finding your confidence. It's when you're able to kind of shed yourself of fear, that shit's going to happen.
Yeah.
Deal with it. Like you can kind of get into like a more stronger headspace and prepare yourself more for those instances.
Yeah.
Mentally, so to speak. Financially, not always.
No, absolutely. Because I think you're onto something 100%, 10% with the fear. Because like whenever, like, I mean, again, I don't want to like get too depressing, but like it's just such a defining event in my life. When my dad passed, like,
I've purposely not brought it up.
I know, and I don't mean to keep bringing it up, but it's just like, whenever we're talking about my growth, like I can't like not,
Well, I mean, clearly it was a very defining point in your life, and it sounds like you were really close.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't for the longest time, and then like when that last year, because he died within 6 months of his cancer diagnosis type thing. We got very close, I mean, we had to, because he was just, he couldn't leave the house and stuff, but no, we really especially bonded over like country music and that sort of thing. But like that, whenever you lose a parent, like that's kind of like one of the biggest like fears, they come true. And it was kind of like, well, okay, like if I can survive this, and then what else, just
Like,
you
one of the
you
most
gotta,
important things in my life has been taken from me, and I'm still here.
yeah,
And,
you got to keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. Like that it literally is the nature of life. And I mean, I think that just kind of like played a huge role in my maturing and like just lack of fear and trust in myself and that sort of thing, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I've seen the opposite end of that. I know people who have lost someone that they cared about deeply, and I've watched them go the other direction, and it's never.
Yeah.
It never works out when you let your, whether it's guilt that you feel, whether it's depression, whatever the emotion is that you're clinging on to, if you can figure out, like you said, that's the right word for it too. It's shifting your mindset to like, I'm stronger because of this.
Right.
Because you're never going to feel that hole. Like, it's never going away.
Never.
That pain's never going away, but learning how to move forward with that pain is so much more valuable.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It makes you, and it makes you a little more empathetic to people. Like one of the things that I had to learn the hard way was learning how to understand where other people are coming from. There was a certain point in my life where it was like, this is how things are supposed to be. And it's like, well, for you,
Right.
that's how they're supposed to be, but not for everybody. And when I finally kind of let go of that mentality and opened myself up to like understanding other people's experiences, you gain like this wisdom. It's not even knowledge; it's wisdom.
Absolutely.
It's like understanding and having empathy. It makes
Understanding human nature.
Yeah, it just makes me feel more whole as a person. Being able to bond with people that way and not let my belief or my preconceived notion of something be the thing that matters more than what this other person has to say.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And a lot of people don't ever develop that or get to that point. And so I think it's very indicative of intelligence and maturity that,
We're smart.
we're just a big circle
Yay,
jerk over
smart
here.
people.
Yeah.
Well, look, we dig a little deeper in that, and it's like us all being, outcasts of like your cookie cutter society. It kind of forces you into being more creative with how you look at the world. There is actually value. Like, I like to shit on these types of people a lot, like your weekend golfers that like your.
You really do.
Yeah, look, man. I know so many of them. Like, I grew up around so many of them, and it's like I look at their lives and I'm like, man, that is a very sad way to live your life. However, if that's where you grow up
That's
in,
their
and like
thing.
there's value in having that simplicity and like knowing what your life's going to be. There's a simplicity there that I can see value in. It's just, and I'm not even trying to say that these aren't smart people. A lot of them are very intelligent people, but they prefer that comfort and stuff. I have been through the fire, and I've learned how to be comfortable in that.
Right.
And I feel that's where I feel that's valuable too. So I don't. It's not that I hate people that are corporate. Is I guess the best word for it. I don't have an issue with people being that way. It's just I'm not trying to hang out. I'm not trying to go golf.
Definitely.
It's not my cup of tea.
Putt.
Yeah.
No, they're cozy being in the box, and
Yeah.
we're outside in the dumpster fire making the best of it.
Yeah.
Roasting marshmallows on the dumpster fire. That's what we're doing.
And those are the people who are remembered musically
Yes.
and artistically. And I mean, the yuppies are just like
They serve a purpose.
They serve a purpose.
They do really serve. I mean, you need.
serve
We
a
have to have
purpose.
balance. Is all about
Yeah.
balance.
It just seems so boring to me.
Yeah.
Like
It is. It is.
Without any art or creativity, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I get it if they love it and that's what it's fine. I just can't.
I can't imagine getting excited about going to Myrtle Beach to golf for a whole weekend. Like, there's so much.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm not going to
I
Myrtle
can't get
Beach.
excited
I'm
about
going
going
to
to Myrtle
another-
Beach.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I can't get excited.
It's a
about going
big
to
golf
Myrtle.
destination. There's a bunch of golf courses.
I
in
know.
there. Yeah,
Every 5, 6, 7 years, I got to fuck up my life somehow
Yeah.
to make it to make it interesting.
All right, self-destruction.
Well, I don't know. I like to keep things interesting, man. I like to keep my wife on her toes, and she does me the same way. It's
Ew.
fun, man. It makes life so much more worth living when like you don't know what's going to happen next.
Oh yeah.
I've always been a thrill seeker, and it's gotten me in a lot of trouble. But you kind of like learn how to walk the balance, right? I mean, like I've been cutting my own hair for 10 years, you know, and it's like just sometimes I really fuck it up, and it's like you have to wait for it to grow back out. But most of the time you get compliments for it. And, you know, it's like that's worth it, right? You get there. I have pictures from like 8 years ago. It was like a mullet bowl cut. Like it's
Can you please bring one to work?
Horrific. Oh my God.
I want to see the mullet bowl cut.
I don't know.
I want to put it on the tip jar.
I mean,
Look, I'll bring my Lou Ferrigno haircut that I had when somebody cut my hair incorrectly, if I can find it. If you bring the mullet bowl cut.
I let my best friend cut my hair one time when we were teenagers, and he's legit like 45-degree angle.
that's kind of punk rock though. When you think about it,
Kinda
a little bit.
little
Like the asymmetry.
angle.
I was kind of
Yeah,
upset with it.
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
So good.
I'm so sure.
I did the
I'd be
whole
pissed
80s
too.
and 90s. The whole 80s and 90s, I had a bowl cut with a rat tail that went down to like the
You
middle.
had a rat tail?
Oh my God,
You're
dude.
not from the trailer
A
park.
bowl cut with a rat tail?
Yeah, I talked to my mom because I didn't care about my hair at the time, but that's what it was a bowl cut with a rat tail and like a long ass rat tail too.
Hey,
Yeah.
Those kids, when we
That's
were growing up,
interesting.
the rat tail kids you had to watch out for the rat tail. They were going to get you in trouble.
Well, it was, yeah.
Well, see, my mom had kept my brother's because he had like the most beautiful curls, and she didn't want to cut all of his curls off, so she left one really big curl. I mean, he had like the Shirley Temple spiral curls, like just naturally. And she's like, I can't cut it all off, so she left it. And he's like, fine, no, cut this. Get rid of this. He finally was old enough to go,
I had it so long that my uncle was like, he hated it so much, right? When I was, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old, he came by at a party, at a family party, came by and just snipped it off.
Oh.
My mom was livid.
damn.
Yeah. Grew
Oh my
right back.
God.
That's such a mean thing.
It is
That's
mean.
such hater
Thing to-
shit.
It
there.
is me.
Damn.
It's not his kid, so I get where she would be livid, but at the same time, yeah.
It's funny.
It's
but It's
funny.
mean.
It was the
as hell.
90s. It was the 90s.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
Right on. All right, so Abigail, I want to thank you for doing this. Is there anything else you want to share? Like I said, I try not to get too personal or nothing, but anything that you want to end on a high note? You want to tell do you have one story you can tell about your wild time?
Oh my God. Okay, I'm
Sorry, Mom. You can turn it off now. We're going to wrap it up after this.
I mean,
We got a
I'm trying to think of
mom-friendly
like a lighthearted one because, a lot of the times they end up like the stories end with me smoking cigarettes I found on the street in New York. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and not remembering where I am until like, the
More
night.
Was it
trauma.
alcohol?
Yeah.
Was it alcohol or?
It was whatever.
Okay.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like it was was rock and roll. I mean that was like, I mean whatever it was, like it was never enough,
Yeah, I totally get that.
Oh God, I should have prepared something. I should have like thought
No pressure.
of. I know. Oh.
I'll tell you what. Better question.
Okay.
No secret, you get a lot of DMs from guys. What's the funniest line you've gotten in your DMs?
Funny as
Or like who? Like let's put someone on blast. What's the one line that was so bad you were like, that's kind of funny?
Well, I don't know. Like, I have gotten like people, or no, not people. One person being like, "Hey, girl, my cousin is like was one of the bassists for 3 Doors Down," and like he thought that was gonna, and like, but that's not like that's just like a one-liner. But no, you know that like ridiculous like paragraph DM that's got to be the one that like takes the cake.
So trying to like use like a connection to fame to
and
thinking that
it's
that
like
was
a
gonna
band
be-
that I don't even like. Okay, like this.
We should have an Abigail's Wall of Shame
Yeah, that's
where
the
we just
ultimate
write the
kryptonite.
DMs
Yeah.
that she gets.
Nice. It's good. It's good. It's good. I like it.
But like, what about me? Says 3 Doors Down fan. That's what got me. I was like, oh, okay. I mean,
Ew,
Yeah.
that's the best you've got.
yeah.
I would have been like 3 Doors Down sucks.
I mean, like,
That's not the best he's got. That's literally all he's got.
literally all
probably.
he's got
Yeah.
going for him is
Yeah.
I mean, shit. I mean, there are some gnarly ones. I'm trying to, because Instagram, I told you, recently went through and like wiped it all out. Like,
Yes.
why did they? What the,
I don't
what the
know.
hell?
No, because I like keeping those too.
I got
'cause
some
they're
memories
funny.
in there. Yeah. Like I,
I mean,
know I should be screenshotting everything.
The most
God.
basic one was, "Hey, green room lady."
Green room lady.
Remember the message?
Yeah.
Hey, green room lady. Here's my number.
I feel like we're developing a new show. We can like act out the DMs.
Yes.
I mean, like
Voice.
it depends on like what your definition of funny is, though, because I mean, like plenty of. I mean, trying to like straight up, can I suck your toes type shit. I mean,
Whoa.
yeah, oh yeah, like that's like that's one of the more PG
Guys are
ones.
gross.
Guys can be gross. They really can be
gross. Yeah.
You open them up and you just go, or you can if you've got it to where you can drop it down and read it, so they don't have to see that you saw it. Yeah, you're like, what the.
What's that meme where it's like, go talk to that girl? Sure. What's the worst she could say? No. She goes, how's it going? Ew.
That's worse.
That's
Ew.
worse.
Ew is much worse.
Well, I've always been like I think I've always been puzzled like why the dick pic thing, like why guys like just start there.
Literally.
And the conclusion I've drawn is they have to be working the law of averages. Like I guess
Just shotgunning it out
it's
to
just like
every.
someone, huh?
somebody's gonna bite. Like,
Nah, don't do that to me because it'll
No.
get named and then everybody will know.
well, it was funny. I'm telling it. Ariel got sent a dick pic, or was you or Ricky that got?
Okay, it started with me, and then I was like, it was basically, ew, no, here's my friend Ricky. And then he started with Ricky, and then Ricky got sent a dick pic. So,
And then I told her, I was like, send one back. Because like if you're a female and you are alive in 2025, someone has sent you a dick pic.
yes.
Just send a bigger one.
Start saving the bigger ones
just
and
like,
just
just
send
save
them
them.
back and be like, mine's bigger. I feel like that's the perfect
That'll
response
stop it.
to a guy's dick pic.
Stop it right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not
It'll
wrong.
either stop it or make it way worse.
Yes.
You might be into that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah.
Well, and the thing is if she doesn't have one, she clearly, I mean, Ricky's here all the time. Between all the females who work here, we pretty much could find one somewhere that we've been best.
It's just funny. I feel like I understand because when I was younger, I was kind of awkward, didn't really know how to talk to women, and it kind of clicked for me in my late 20s, and it literally is just like be you. Like don't try to do something, just be who you
Just be
are.
yourself.
Just treat
Yeah.
them like human
send dick
beings.
pics.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, that's all it was. That and just let them talk.
Yeah.
I do like we do like to yap. It's true. I mean, I do be saying shit for sure.
That's all it takes, guys. Just be nice.
Yes.
All right, cool. Anything else you want to share before we get out of here?
Yeah. I mean, hire me. Let me know. Let me host your event. Let me talk to your band. Let me
Yep,
do your
interviews,
eyeliner.
music
I'm
videos, hosting
flexible.
duties.
Yeah.
Don't be creepy about it. Or you'll
And
have to deal
she
with
is
me.
available to bartend every other weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, if there's looking for a fill-in bartender, hit her up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you for doing this, Abigail. I
Thank you for
appreciate it.
having me.
Peace and love, y'all.